Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, c'est vendredi le 23 septembre. Today is Friday, September 23rd. I am so sorry I'm getting this out super late. It could be nobody's even watching this because it's out so late. That's my own fault. Désolé, I sincerely apologize. I will try not to let this happen too often. Okay, but really quickly, here is what I need from you today. Just a little more practice with la chanson, l'alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. TPR, practice with that a little bit more. Make sure you know those gestes, those actions, because we're going to be adding on to them soon. And then also, hopefully, you use them to complete your flip video Wednesday, mercredi. Aujourd'hui dans l'histoire, we do have une discussion aujourd'hui, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then we have your quick write and your weekly check-in. So, aujourd'hui, c'est jeudi le 22 septembre. En 1981, le président français François Mitterrand a inauguré le premier train à grande vitesse. So the very first train à grande vitesse, or TGV, high-speed train, was put into use for the first time. Un train entre Paris et Lyon. So this train traveled between Paris et Lyon. Avant, c'était un voyage de 4 heures. So before, it was a 4-hour trip entre Paris et Lyon. En TGV, with this new high-speed train, le voyage dure 2 heures 40 minutes. So it shaved an hour and 20 minutes off the original time. And this was way back en 1981, over 40 years ago. So it is quite possible, I don't know exactly off the top of my head how long that trip takes today, but with the advancement of technology and with newer, perhaps even more efficient rails, it's possible that that's even quicker now. Le premier TGV avait un prénom. The very first TGV, train de grande vitesse, actually had a name. Il s'appelait Patrick. Et Patrick a pris sa retraite. He retired en 2020, so quite a long life, almost 40 years, après avoir voyagé, after having traveled, 13,5 millions de kilomètres. Now, I don't know off the top of my head how many that is in miles, but it's millions. So millions of miles over the course of its lifetime, which is pretty impressive. So I want you to answer these questions. What was the name of the first TGV? And then how long does it take, at least, or did it take in the 80s, to get from Paris to Lyon on the TGV? And I will check into that for you and see how long it actually does take today. Okay. Après, after you're finished with la discussion, and remember with the discussion questions, although it's called a discussion, it's really just a discussion with me. Sometimes I'll respond to you, but you don't need to respond to any of your peers on that. So I want you to write a quick write. So here are some ways that you can come up with what to write for your quick write. There is no topic. These are just some possibilities. So look through your Quizlet sets. Can you make a list of the months of the year or the days of the week? Can you write the numbers out in words? Obviously not just the numbers, because that wouldn't really show me anything that you know in French, but can you write the numbers out as words? Can you go through our most recent story, Le Tigre, or the Personne Spéciale that we did a couple weeks ago? Are there any sentences that you think you could rewrite from those by heart? Can you introduce yourself in French and talk about yourself a little bit, your name, your grade, where you live? So these are all options. The idea is just that you are is that you are writing for 1 minute, for 1 minute. Try to sustain that writing. And then your weekly check-in, once again, it's invaluable to me to know how you're doing, to get to know you a little bit, and using this weekly check-in is a good way to do that. So if you are watching this, merci. I again apologize that it's coming out so late, but hopefully that's helpful to you. And remember, there's no penalty for turning this stuff in late, so don't worry about that at all. Okay, bon weekend. Au revoir.